We've all been there, right? You're sitting around sharing a drink with your co-workers after shift, and you're talking about what you would do if you had your own bar. It's a universal aspiration for us working in hospitality, right? But where do you even begin? Sometimes opening a bar, or any business in fact, might seem like the simplest, but also the most daunting task.
When it comes to opening a bar, you need two things, an idea and an opportunity. Every bar story is completely different, but at the beginning of every story, you're going to find one of those two things, and it doesn't really matter which, because the second's going to follow that shortly after. Some of the best businesses in the world come from the opportunity alone. Maybe you're going to stumble across a killer venue, you're going to meet the perfect business partner, or you're just going to find yourself in a situation where opening a dream bar has become much more of a reality than you anticipated. Then you're going to take that opportunity and you're going to fill it with your ideas. Or you're going to have a fully formed idea of what your dream venue looks like, and you're going to go out and you're going to look for opportunities to make that happen. It doesn't really matter which camp you fall into. The main thing is that you've got ideas and that you're looking for opportunities.
Now that all sounds nice and vague, right? But how do you actually take tangible steps forward? From having dreamt of having my own place for the last 10 years and having wrestled to open our own for the last couple of months, here are some things I wish I'd started doing in the industry from day one that would have not just made the past couple of months easier, they also would have probably made me believe we could have opened our own place sooner.
Create some kind of record of all the things that inspire you. It can be an actual mood board, a document where you write down ideas and thoughts, or just a collection on Instagram. What's important is to create a space where you can put your ideas and come back to them. It's not just really helpful in remembering all the things that inspire you, but it's also about keeping the project present in your mind and forming a habit. You'll be surprised how quickly that habit forms, and if within 6 months you find yourself with a short story about what your dream bar looks and feels like, it's probably a good indicator that you're in the moment where you want to go and start looking for that opportunity to make your dream bar happen.
The financials can often be the most intimidating part for bartenders when considering opening a bar. But what do I do about the numbers? There's no avoiding it. Strong and sustainable financials are the bedrock for all your creative ideas within the industry. But you do not need a degree in economics to get started with the basics. Look at the business you're in now and see if you can recreate that business on paper. How much do I get paid? How many hours do I work? And how many drinks do I make?
Even if you don't have all of the details, like your drinks margins, average guest spend, or even your boss's wages, take some estimates, have a look online. The important thing is to start to play with the model. Once you're pretty confident with this, take your new idea, put it into this model, and give it a test run. Do the numbers add up? Don't worry about having all of the costs mapped out day one. Even with all the experience and the best templates in the world, you're still probably going to miss a few things. And the reality is, when it actually comes to launching your own project, all manner of unexpected costs and challenges are going to come up along the way. The important thing is to know that the core idea works and to be as prepared as possible for when those challenges do come.
It is perfectly natural when planning to open your own project to spend 99% of your time planning on how to please others. Whether that be your future guests, your employees, your investors, and even your neighbors. But one thing that is incredibly important to consider is, what do you want from your venue? Planning to open your own business is not just a very demanding project to take on, but it's also a decision that will affect your entire life. One thing that is very important to plan through is, how will these decisions affect you, and how long will you have to commit to these choices?
Do you find yourself thriving working in a big team? And perhaps that cafe, cocktail bar, boutique 10-seater venue isn't going to be the best thing for you in the long run, no matter how aesthetic the dream is. That doesn't mean you don't make those choices or those sacrifices, but before you jump wholeheartedly into your next project, have you had that cold, hard conversation with yourself about what you can give, what you need from your bar?
Once you go from thinking about those elements abstractly and you move to thinking about them more concretely, we all know that feeling of when you realize that there is something to a good idea and you cannot help but linger and come back to it. And through this process, you will be able to flesh out those ideas further, dig deeper into the details, and be able to take the next steps in your mind. Before you know it, you'll have the start of your bar's business plan. But more on that in the next episode.